What's up, Ed?
What's up, Kim? What's cracking with you today?
Man, I just been chilling. It's been a bunch of little things going on. Job market, parenting, and then being hit up with questions. So,
I'm
you
liking
know,
the hair though. Your hair, you kind of really you draping the hair. You kind of got the nice swoop going. You got
oh
the little
yeah.
swoop. Look at you. Okay.
All right, thank you. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Um I'm in this mode of, trying to figure out what's going on with this. Women saying that men is ghosting, but men
okay.
also say that women is ghosting. For those who don't understand what ghosting means, it means if you reach out to somebody via text or call, or you with the person, meet the person, talk to them, y'all vibing, blah blah blah. Then all of a sudden, something be changed, and the person just stopped talking to you. It usually
hmm
happens right after an event, right?
Okay.
It usually happened right after the event, and the person that ghosts, they know why they ghost, but the person that's been ghosted is left in the dark.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
and for me, I just feel like you're a coward. I mean, I'm just gonna call it the way I see it. Your ass is a coward. You know what I'm saying? If it's something you don't like that he or she said or did, you don't have to go somebody. Just say, you know what, this ain't working out. This
hmm
not what I want. And I'm just sick of all that little, you know, um, nipple in the mouth type bullsh crap about, well, I ain't want to hurt your feelings and all that. Nigga, you hurting my feelings when you don't, when you ghost and I don't know what's
I
going
I
on with you.
I don't agree with that ghosting process, but I also look at it from a standpoint of people look at what they figure is important in their life. And sometimes if a person does a situation where which is not good, but it depends on what's the vested interest is, or what the time vested in, or who they would prioritize, what's their priority with that person or their situation in life. So I think some people just kind of like this. It ain't, it's like I got shit going on.
It
I can
doesn't
deal with
matter what the
this or
damn
deal with
reason
that
is,
is.
though. Just let the other person know. Because I mean, I can say, and you can say, Edward, if you can be vibing with somebody, or look, you can go to a restaurant, right? And you be like, I'm not eating here no more. I don't
Mhm.
like the service, so I'm just not gonna show my ass up. But I
Right.
don't gotta send you a goodbye note. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta leave a note to the chef. You know what I'm saying? But when it's personal, and if this woman is vibing with you and she feeling some sort of kind of way, and then you texting her and going back and forth or calling, then all of a sudden you stop. You could have got sick. You could have been in a car accident. There's a lot of real reasons that things could have happened.
hmm
But what I don't like is this. You ghosted, and then 3 weeks later, you text me WYD or
Bam.
hi or what
What's
you
up?
doing or
What you doing?
how are you? And then when you come at them and you like, nigga, where you been?
Yeah.
They look at you like, what you mean? Like, and then when you try to be like, okay, but you just not hollering at me right now. Don't even trip. I was blase. What you talking? So you're not gonna get the same energy from a person that you ghosted. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Now some people might be hanging on, oh my God, Charlie finally hit me back after all this time. Me, I'm like, hell no. Get your ass off my phone.
Mm.
What you mean? Listen, it only take 2 seconds to go to the bathroom. You can take your phone to the bathroom and piss. You understand me? Then you can text quickly, sick, dying, whatever, and say, listen, I'm gonna fall back for a minute. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I just feel like, it's just a coward ass way of not saying nothing or doing something simply for the fact of your feelings. You being selfish, you're not caring about the other person. And then when you get ghosted, because it always come back around, then you like, I can't believe she did, blah, blah, blah. Because it comes back around. And I'm saying that for the brothers and the sisters, because sisters do that too.
Right.
All of a sudden now, a new person in their DM. you know, a taller guy, a darker guy, or whatever it is, or just he vibe well, better.
Hmm.
So I mess with him more. But at the same time, you guys gotta learn. I just feel like people just stop straight communicating in a way
Okay.
that makes sense.
Okay, so I'm with you on that. I think that there's a level of respect that you give somebody, and you start talking about you start out talking about an event or whatever. I'm assuming some sort of maybe a relationship, something had happened, maybe they had intercourse, something like that. I'm assuming that's what you might be speaking about, an event, whatever this event is. But I'm thinking here's a perspective, right? I'm 50-50 on the ghosting thing, right? Where I do understand you want to respect human life. I don't believe that people are disposable. Okay. I don't believe that people are disposable. I don't believe in that. However, I believe in people having the right to deal with things how they need to see, how they see fit based off their priorities in their lives, and to get into some sort of emotional exchange, what they may seem as emotional exchange, or some sort of a answer, question and answer service about certain things that they're not interested in or whatever. They may have chosen, okay, I got this fire going on and I'll deal with this later. I had a situation where it's not ghosting per se, but people may look at it as ghosting. Ghosting to me, just a straight out, you had a great time, everything was cool, nobody, whatever, and then you bounce on them. Now, here's a couple things that happens. Um, there are situations where I chatted with somebody, and I'm on the phone, and the conversation is going real weird and whack, and they go like, it's like everything I said was an argument and a fight. And it's like, okay, cool, all right, everything was just the vibe was whack or whatever. So on the phone, I blocked them while I'm talking to them. Okay, because I'm not going to deal with this. I'm not going to tell you, oh, this is why. I don't know you. I don't need to know you. I ain't got, you don't know me. And I'm not going to try to explain to you why I feel this conversation went whatever. I felt uneasy. I ain't like it. It was going against my energy, my spirit. So I bounced on it. There's other situations where I had a situation where somebody was feeling like, okay, well, I had other traumas going on, and this person is a newer part of my life. And I'm like, listen, I'll get back to you. Now, they felt some kind of way because they wanted to be able to converse and have a conversation, express how they felt during this time. And I'm like, listen, I'm fucked up right now. I will hit you back. I'm not saying your feelings aren't important, but what I'm dealing with, I can't focus in on because I'm gonna say something that I can't take back. And so some people look at that as you ghost me, tell me something. It's like I will tell you something. I don't have anything to say because
No,
I'm
see,
not even in the mindset.
that's not ghosting. That's not coasting. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring it all the way home. Everything that I'm talking about, none of this shit is personal to me. Anything that I have with anybody, you know what I'm saying, that I felt the issue with, oh, I'm gonna call your ass out on it. Oh, you gonna hear from me. And you can't, you know what I'm saying. You only thing you can do is try to block a sister, but my resource game is off the chain. So at
Oh,
the end of the day, you gonna hear from me. But it
oh,
ain't like that. I don't care enough. Now, see, in your situation, what you're saying, the person you was talking to or whatever you dealt with is you didn't care enough. I'm talking about somebody, Edward, that what I've been told from women and men that they literally was spending quality time with this money. I mean, with this person, their money, their time. Hell, sometimes
mm,
they've even introduced their children. I'm saying, or they was vibing with this person 3-4 weeks go by, they go on a couple of dates, that shit ain't easy with COVID. They went out of town, they come back, this person straight goes. 9 out of 10, there's another life that that other person is living. Trust and believe. If you did that type of time and then all of a sudden
oh,
they go.
okay.
So I'm saying it's so many different aspects as to why a person goes, but I'm talking about where you built something with a person.
Let me tell you
Now,
something
if
crazy. I'm sorry because that right there brought me to I got a friend of mine that lives, and I hope she might end up seeing this video. I'm not gonna say her name. I got a friend of mine that lives out of state. And this is the craziest thing. That kind of remind me of what you just said. And it put context to it because at first I'm thinking like, okay, we talking, we dating, then I just decide I don't want to date you or, see you anymore. But what you're saying is very significant. And I do agree that's ridiculously whack. And I think it's built off of something bullshit is going on. Some line is
right,
going on. So here's the story. So this lady, she was dealing with this guy. They were close. They were dating, going on trips.
uh-huh.
Um, he stayed the night of her house. She stayed the night of his house, knew his kids. He had like kids that were like 20 and 19 and stuff like that. So they dating, everything vibing, they good, having a great time, spending money on each other, doing all type of stuff. They at a restaurant one night. He gets a call. He said, I gotta go. We gotta go. Pack her up. They bounce. He said, I gotta hit you up later. Well, what happened was his wife had called and was like, paying out what she was some sort of a yes. Now that's where it gets crazy. So his wife had called him and was like, she want to work thing, whatever it was, she had hit him up. And at that point, he had to immediately deal with her. She was in town. And she's like, damn, you got a wife, you in town. What's going on? Now she think like like
What?
because here's where it
What?
gets this way it gets crazy, Kim. He had a wife, and she's like, how you got a wife? I've been at your crib. I know your kids. Like your kids, like, you know what I'm saying? So she was like thrown off. I mean, it threw her off. It hurt her so bad. She was telling me the whole story. I was the wildest shit I had ever heard. And
Right.
so they hadn't got together. Then he had said she said something to him and was like, "What's going on?" Blah blah blah. She a rock, you know. She rolling with him. She just want to know what's going on. He said, "Look, you need to give me time." Whatever it was, he kind of got real defiant. Like, yeah, you need to go and chill out. And he basically ghosted her. And so what we gathered was his wife was a traveling nurse or something. And so she traveled, so she was gone for a while. And I think that they may have had
Right.
either an open relationship, open marriage, or they were broken up. And she decided, you know what? I want to make this work. Which it had to been understood with the kids. We're gonna say open relationship because the kids know that okay, this is what mom and dad doing or whatever. And
Okay.
or the kids knew they weren't together. When I tell you that was the most crazy. I've never heard of it. That was like the ultimate. What you talking about the straight ghosting, but I see the reason why, and
Right.
I think the ghosting part comes under the not being 100% transparent about what your situation is. If you ain't real and saying, "Let me tell you what's happening," me and the wife split up about 4, 5, 6 months. She's out of town traveling. I love her. We're not together, and I'm moving on or whatever. Now, she's like, well, y'all gonna get divorced? Well, we ain't divorced yet. Got kids. Okay. Now, in her mind, she's like, okay. Now, he didn't tell her he may go back. He didn't say anything like, I still am crazy about her. He didn't even say, hey, if she called me, just let me know I'm coming running.
So he in a marriage situationship.
He's in a, well, that's what I'm saying. He didn't say,
That's what
he
they
didn't,
call.
right. He didn't say anything. But if he had said just that part, like, I'm
Hmm.
married, she's out of town, we in the
Right.
situation. In her mind, think about it as you as a woman, you'd have been like, okay, she ain't, at any given moment, some tricky shit can come on because now you know. Now
Hmm.
you know somebody's there. Even though he's moved on, you at his crib, you met his kids, y'all doing trips together. He at your crib, he know your kids. Even though you know that in the back of your mind, you kind of like, it ain't quite finished. And he didn't say he was polyamorous or was in an open marriage or anything either. So when it's like that, when you ain't saying none of that, it just
Right.
kind of, or if he had said something like that, she could have had something like in her mind. She's like, okay, any given day, that motherfucking gavel can be banged. You know what I'm saying? The hammer can come down. She would have known that, but he didn't say none of that shit, which is like crazy. It ended up him being the ridiculous version of the ghosting you talking about, which is, I mean, I don't know what I would do with that. Like, you just come like, wait a minute, you got a whole person. Let me tell you this other funny story. I don't know if you saw this. It's another funny story. And I'm gonna get back to you. Somebody was talking about how they was with this guy,
Hmm.
went to his crib, slept his crib the whole night, right? Saw the pictures of what he said his wife is dead, right? She go to his crib one day. She go to his crib, just kind of pull up. I'm gonna go pull up, make some Dutch for him, go pull up or whatever. His wife is there. This nigga gonna say this nigga gonna say he suffered from early stage dementia.
So his wife is magically back alive.
look,
The
look.
hell?
She said the nigga. She go to the crib, and the dude, his wife is there, and he like, man, I I'm suffering from early stage dementia.
Wow.
What I tell you, listen, listen. I ain't got no type of excuse for us brothers. I know we be on some wild shit. That
Wow.
was those two stories was the craziest shit I've ever heard. And sometimes
That
what they say, truth is better than fiction. Goddamn it, it's stranger than fiction. But just kind of going what you're saying with that ghosting thing in that aspect, yeah, you know, but I guess it's two levels to it. Like the level you saying is like that's really booty. Like we're actually have established or expressed interest and intentions.
Yeah,
Like
it's
we
so
want to
many
be with
different ways now that people can date and be with other people. But when you think you're vibing, when you think you're connecting to
you. Hmm.
someone, and if you're sharing bodily fluids, it makes it even more harder. You know, if a man get with a female and they do it overnight, and the woman don't put out, and the next day he don't talk to her, but it was already established before they went out that that want their purpose, they weren't going to be getting together. I
Mm.
mean, so maybe in his mind he thought that's an automatic smash because we sharing a room together.
Okay,
But if they had the conversation that was told that that wasn't going to happen, then the next day he ghosts, and then 3 days, 3 weeks later go by, then he say, "What you doing?" Why do you expect that woman to respond to you in a way of, "I'm doing great, how are you"? That
that's
ain't
some
gonna happen.
that's some whack ass shit. So first of all, I'm not finna like. So was it a thing that she had to see that gets tricky if y'all platonic friends? Like my homegirl came in town, flew in town.
No, it ain't that. See, I don't want to keep making it be, because that's just, you know how I get when I say people, to me things are very simple. People make things complicated. It's very, very simple. Really. Yeah, it ain't this level, that level. It ain't no damn level of ghosting. It's just your ass don't keep it 100. That's it. And that's all you really got to do. At
Okay,
the
so in
end
that
of the day, if
scenario,
I don't want to mess with you no more because of whatever my reasons are, I really don't got to tell you why, but I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to mess with you no more because you ain't got the wonder, right? But at the end of the day, my choice is my choice, just like your choice. Now, I can be out of love, out of courteous, out of respect, out of
now
all
let's
that. But at the end of the day, it's
now
nothing wrong with saying, I just don't
okay.
want to do that
Now
anymore.
I'm about to do what you do to men. Okay, why in the fuck would that woman go to this hotel room somebody ain't putting out, and you know how niggas are?
So if a woman have had, listen, when you two grown people, and as you and I say on our show all the time, if you communicate, what you should be able to talk about sex, you should be able to talk about what type of relationship, you should be able to talk about if you have multiple relations. If you have that type of connection, this person live out of town, that person live out of town, and they come together under one roof and they mutually getting to know each other, and they meet up at a hotel because they want to chill, it's COVID and all this, and then all of a sudden you have this conversation. Now he in his mind, this is what we gonna do. He bring all the little board gangs and all this shit, and y'all kicking and both of y'all play. And then all of a sudden the next day, he talked to her all day, and then after that he ghosted her.
I
And
think they
she in her mind, she like, I don't get it because we did everything we said that we were going to do.
yeah, that's some whack ass shit for both sides. Both sides for her going there with that bullshit and him going there and acting like he don't want it and really do. That's why I ain't finna be on that. I'm like, look, this is what we doing.
But at the end of the day, if you grown, it can't happen that where you can't be on some grown type shit. Every time you that ain't it's not a damn male code that every time a female go with you, I should automatically put out. What the fuck? No.
I don't think that's the case.
Or
But what
I
I'm
don't
saying
give a
is that
damn if your black ass even thinking about it, or your white ass or Latino ass is even thinking about it. It ain't happening, player. Then don't even go. That's
but they
what I
don't. She
say.
shouldn't go either, though. That's
No,
what I'm
I
saying. Who
say
you talking?
no.
Oh,
I'm
both of
saying.
them.
Wait a minute. I'm saying you saying a man is saying that. Now, if it was me, first of all, I'm not gonna put myself in a position,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Right, right,
that is gonna even be thought of, nigga. It's no play. It ain't happening. That's it. That's all.
right,
It's either you gonna meet murder. You know what I'm saying? With you, if you even think that, I'm always packed and ready. This ain't what you want. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying, if it's two grown people and y'all been vibing already, y'all cool, like y'all did hung out and all that. It don't have to be. I don't know you. If that's what she wants to do, I hate that it's put on a thing like some type of male code. It should just automatically be accepted if you go to a hotel room and hell, matter of fact, this is a real story. She paid for it. It wasn't even none. He didn't even cash jack. She paid for it, and he still ghosted her. And then 3 weeks later, he contacted her and said, what's up? How you doing? And she like, where you been? And he was like, nothing. Like nothing ever happened. That's all he said. Nothing.
Mm.
So she was like, look, well, apparently you got something else going on. He said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm single. I don't got nothing going on. She said, well, then you would have not talked to me all this time. And I don't know why. He didn't even come up with a philanthropist lie. He just was like, it ain't even like that. Just on some, it ain't like that. And she was like, okay, well, it's like this. You know what I'm saying? Don't call me no more. And he called her and sweated her and told her like she was bogus as hell. I don't get where he feel that she was bogus.
I think the whole thing is convoluted. That's on both sides. If you say, hey, I got this room, come kick it with me. You my unless they're friends. Like I was just trying to tell you, my homegirl came in town, flew in town, got a hotel room. She like, I'll stay out here. I ain't gotta stay at your crib. I said, if you need me to, because we getting up early and all that kind of stuff. She's like, bro, I got you, whatever, whatever. I could have stayed if I was tired. I could have stayed in her room. But I'm like, I was at home, dropped all the way downtown. She stayed downtown. I stayed here, whatever, with my family. And she was like, I don't want to put y'all out, whatever. But it's like my friend, if she came in town and had a hotel room to come and visit us and visit me, I'm not thinking, oh well, we're gonna. That's my friend. But if she like, hey, let's go out of town to Atlanta or go to Vegas, and I got the room, or I'm gonna go to New York or whatever, and I got this room, come hang and kick it with me, and we're not friends, like we're not already established friends, then it's kind of like, well, why would you? It's just certain things that to me, I know what you're saying. They're an automatic link. You're right about that. That's to me, it's kind of semantics. It's automatic because somebody bend over and pull their pants down. Don't mean they want you to search your penis. I get that. I get that. Okay, they didn't
But
say.
do you?
Well, yeah, I get that. I get that. So stop. I get that. But
Shh.
if somebody says, if somebody says,
It's a
but it's
part too.
okay. If I come, it's like the same thing to me. If I go in like, man, I'm giving you um every day I'm dropping off roses at your job, right? I'm dropping off, you know what I'm saying? And not even give you like a friendship, a promise ring and shit like that. You be like, man, you telling nobody you my man. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. What the fuck made you think we together? Just because I dropped these flowers off at you and stuff like that, that don't mean I love you.
See, that's
Are
that
you
bullshit too. That's bullshit.
what's bullshit? Are
That's
me saying
bullshit.
that?
See, my thing
No, no,
is,
no, no. Hold on,
hold
hold on, hold on. No, before you say it, what's bullshit? What are you talking about? I want to make sure you understand what I was saying because I wasn't saying I was being facetious. That's like me being shocked that she feel a certain way when I give these type of efforts. If I give an effort and I'm showing up, I'm doing this, I'm giving you a ring, and then I get mad at you for thinking that I want to be in a relationship. That's the same goofy ass come to my hotel and stuff like that. But what you want to fuck? What I just had on the 90 right in front of you.
but
That
see,
all the same dumbass shit to me.
okay,
Don't
but
don't
that,
don't pull up like that and then be looking at me like just because we're in a room together and I have a negligee on, don't mean we're gonna screw. That's the same like me saying just because I give you a promise ring and give you roses every day and then meeting your parents don't mean I want to be your man. That's the same goofy ass shit. You put out these goofy ass signs and that particular species, the male and the female species, see these things as this is what you're meaning. That's what they say. We say things because we think that other opposite sex is going to respond accordingly. When you say come to this room, we're like, man, that's an invitation. She's not going to say like me, like give me that pussy. You're not going to talk like me, but you're going to say come to my room. You're going to say stuff like that because they speak differently. I may not say, hey, let's be married, but I'm showing you all these different things. I think
so
that
regardless if they had the conversation, that we're just making it easier to chill because we don't live by each other, and we're not. I'm not on that with you at all. Matter of fact, I'm getting two double beds, so you can be in one, I can be in the other. You're saying regardless of them having the conversation, he still have a certain expectation that it can go down.
I think that if they're not friends, he still has an expectation. I'm not absolving him. I'm not absolving him because he's still a grown ass man. I'm not absolving him for assuming shit. You still shouldn't assume shit. But it's just kind of weird. Just get him another room. Why do you have to see each other? Why do I got to go to a hotel to see you?
So if
We
they
just not
made the
doing anything.
decision, I mean,
It's
I
just
don't know.
silly to me.
I
It ain't that fucking much friends in the world where you got to have this weird.
it ain't
Uh,
even about being being friends. I just feel like people don't respect other people's boundaries, and
I think people are
you
playing.
have
Women
unexpected
that do that are playing.
expectations that you shouldn't have.
No, I
Stop
think
expecting shit
well
that you
stop.
shouldn't expect.
Okay, and at the same time, stop insinuating shit that you don't want in
But
return.
there was no insinuation. That's you and your fucked up mindset. It wasn't no damn insinuation.
Nope, you don't have to be a rocket scientist or a genius to say if a woman tell you come to a hotel that means
No,
something.
that's bullshit. Ain't no woman tell you. Just like if I wore my whole ass out, I don't expect guys to look at me. Of course, they gonna look at me. I got it all out, right? But so do I deserve to be raped
No,
because
you
I'm
don't.
walking that way?
And I said that point earlier.
So,
You
but
do not.
is that me insinuating that?
No, it ain't because he didn't rape her. He just in the room and nothing happened. He
No,
just
no,
kind of
no,
like,
no, no. You saying the assumption of it all. Don't insinuate. If I had a grown up ass conversation with you and he told me, you know what? She said they're gonna meet in the middle because they live in two different states. They live in two different states. So they both decided to meet in the middle. And
mm-hmm,
before she took her flight out to go to work, I'm 100%. I support this young lady. Like I said, my advice was to keep it moving, because
mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, he ghosted you because apparently he didn't get what he wanted. Regardless of what y'all talked about up front, that's
Well,
not what he wanted.
I,
Whether it
I,
was sex, she'll never know. But whatever it is, maybe he just went back to his girlfriend. It could be a lot of things. But what I'm saying is, I don't feel like, even if it's for a female, you don't deserve his penis because you just, I mean, it shouldn't be automatic. I can see you can say that it can happen, and why you say put yourself in this situation, and I agree with you, Edward. You know what? So there won't be no foul play. I'm gonna get my own room. I agree with you. I do. But if that don't happen and you did have the conversation, then I'm leaning like, come on, man.
and that's where it gets tricky. And that part I don't disagree with you on because you're right. If you have an explicit conversation and y'all
Yeah.
agree this is what it's going to be,
Yeah.
and I think the point we're making, especially with our show, is to point out those type of things, how to bring it out. Like, hey, look, like I'm talking to you, Kim. You say, Ed, I'm about to go do this thing. Listen, let me tell you something. We talking, and I'm gonna come to your room, but I don't. I might want to. I'm just saying that's kind of weird. I don't know if and I might feel some kind of way if we don't do it. Well, we're not gonna do it. Okay, well, let me just not do that because I don't want to feel some kind of way. Not that I don't have any type of, not that I don't have any type of temperance or restraint, but and if I do, then it wouldn't be an issue. And what that happened was he didn't have restraint. He wasn't being honest. He wanted to get down. He was trying to do this old incognito way of doing shit. Like, let me just go on. Because there's some guy like this. It's almost like, let me slip the tip in. That's like one of them type of things. And he didn't have restraint. He wasn't real. Because if he couldn't handle it, he should have said, you know what? I ain't on that. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. And then you would have been like, well, you really can't do it. You want to do this? There would have been a more deeper conversation. But because you're right, because she said, hey, we're not doing this. You're like, all right, cool. Thinking he going to be slick.
Ghosting is so much more, sisters and brothers, than this particular incident. And I really didn't want to spend the whole time just on that particular incident, because it's really, texting is a lot of what I'm getting is more so like a person be texting you and you go ghost, and like you vibe for 4 days, and then the person just stopped talking to you and you really thought they had something, they just move on to somebody else. The next thing you know, you pick up their Facebook page and you see them, they in love, or they recently just got engaged or in a
Or
relationship,
they've been married the whole time.
and they've been married the whole time. It's the same thing I don't
You
like
like,
about, if you on a single site and you're married and separated, you're on the wrong damn site. Get on a
you're
site
not
that says
single.
married and separated. Don't get on a site that says single, because then don't get mad at me when I want you to get the hell out of my DM because you trying to explain to me that you in a situationship. Now, everybody's situation is isolated, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, don't get mad for people that is not understanding. For women said that I'm not gonna wait, or a guy. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
deal. Most men don't want to deal with a woman. If you entangled, then you need to clear all that up. Holler at me
Mm-hmm.
when you through with that nigga, right? So
Right.
what's the difference with women? I
Mm, no
guess I have
difference.
a man mentality. I don't want that. I ain't finna be dealing with none of that. I agree with that saying. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with a lot of things that the guys want, they mentality of the way they view things, but at the same time, um, being a nurturing woman, I just feel like I don't like the emotional baggage of just being a liar or a coward, hiding
Mm,
behind things or being misleading. And that circles back around because everything you do to one person, believe is that one person going you gonna feel some way about that person that felt that way about you, and you
mm.
wouldn't want it done to you. So that's my story. That's my message I want to get across. I think that it's we probably would do this again. Hell, I don't even know if I'm in the point where I get this is where I'm really passionate about, and it pisses me off because
I think this is something you should.
it's a lot more subjects that's being shooted to me about just this thing. And I've seen women cry. I've seen men be messed up. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess, that's why I say it's on both ends. It's on both ends.
It's
It's
on
not
both
a
ends, and it goes with what we saying. We always talk about this, like come on with the come on, all that. I hate all that
ownership.
goofball ass. Own your shit. If that's what you feel like, I love. Now again, I'm not. I don't want you to. We're not gonna walk away that I disagree with what you're saying, but I do want everybody to own how people can perceive you. With me as a
Right.
person, I look at things from. I don't look at it just what I look. You know, when you started driving, when we first started driving, they want you to be a defensive driver. They just said, don't just drive for yourself. Think about how goofy you can see tendencies of people. You see what they doing. Be a defensive driver. Watch they goofy ass. So because you may not cause an accident, but you can see they goofy ass causing an accident. So
Right.
I try to put myself. I'm thinking about okay. I say this. How she taking that? So that's another thing we all have to take in consideration. So in that regard, I don't disagree with you because she was 100% real, and what he was supposed to have been was 100% real. Like man, I don't know if I can do that. Then she would have been like,
Yeah, that
damn, you
shit
think?
don't happen though. I
That's
know.
why, yeah, yeah. That's why we put this shit out here. We talking about come on with the come on. If that's what you want, Smash City, say you want Smash City.
And
If you
just
dealing with
remember,
someone,
everybody got options. I know ain't nobody gonna step to nobody being that disrespectful and say, listen, I just want to smash. I'm not saying that either. But at the end of the day, you think it. So,
right,
sometimes we think shit that we
right,
really want to say that we don't say.
right,
They
right,
say
right,
a
right, right,
woman
right,
know within 3 or 5 minutes of meeting a man if she gonna give him some or not.
right, right,
Vice versa, guys already know, like, that's what I want. All I want
right.
to do, say what I need to say to her so I can get what I need to get from her.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, that's a whole nother, different way of dealing with things. But I'm just saying, when it comes to when you emotionally invest in someone and someone give you their time and they really like you, and you just straight ghost them, they think you set up dates with them. You make them believe like you really finna kick it with them, and then somebody else between the time you post a guy with them that Friday, somebody jumped in your DM on Thursday, and you feel like that's a better option, but you got option A
Mm.
waiting for
That's
you. And I'm just saying that's wrong to do
let's
that.
let's get into that. That's we're not gonna do that on this show, but I do want to get into that that's a very that can get that rabbit hole can go deep too. Where you kind of and I want to go into it. I'm not gonna do it today on this particular episode, but that's a very vital or a very serious concept because that's like the grass is greener almost in a very minute
Yep.
way. Where it's like this move come up, so let me jump on this move because this person might be coming in hot, they coming in hot, and the other person's kind of like, I don't know what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? That's a guys
All
think
right.
like
So
that.
y'all watch our show. The next one, well, we're gonna talk about the grass is green. I think that's a great is the grass really green on the other side?
Down the
So we'll
drum, kind
holler
of
and
brown.
talk to y'all about that.
All right,
Until the
Kim,
next
it
time.
was fun. I see you with the hat, girl. Do your thug thizzle.
You know what? Y'all have to y'all know I have to take Edward in doses, right?
Right.
You know.
That's why you cutting me off soon. Talk to y'all.
Now I'm
Listen.
looking at the time, and I know how y'all people get mad, and you don't want to be watching. You want to get to the point, but our shit's so cold. You gonna want to keep watching anyway.
Right,
But
right, right.
peace,